driver off the deck for Corey Connors.
Here's driver off the deck for Victor Hovland.
So the driver off the deck. I know you would try this, right?
Oh my, what a shot.
Just to be able to hit it off the deck and get that thing down and fly it in running.
You have to put your foot on the gas. You pull out the driver off the deck and you put it on the green all the way up the hill.
Welcome back to another episode of Off the Deck. We have Mr. Ethan Andrews joining the show today. Ethan, it is a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for taking time to come on the show.
Josh, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
And I want you to introduce yourself because this is the first time we've ever met other than communicating via some DMs. Tell the listeners who you are, what you do, and then we can dive into that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Ethan Andrews. Founded ParFour about, now coming up, I think, on a year and a half. And we have changed a lot. This is probably my first podcast since we've raised $1 million and we've pivoted our entire product, which has been the best decision we could have made, which is awesome. Yeah, a little bit about, background about me. I've played golf since I was, 7 years old, I believe. And been in tech since I was 17. So I've worked at Apple. I helped build Home Depot's app. I was a part of BitPay. Worked for a ton of Y Combinator companies, for those who know what YC is. And so, yeah, it's, taking what I absolutely love and now what my children love, and truly turning it into something that is changing what we think is the way that tech is actually done inside the game and on the course and in the club, right? So it's like my old saying was, we're changing the game. It's like, no, this is software that's actually changing the momentum of the game, which is super, super cool. So yeah, super excited to be on here. And like I said, you're the first person that we've talked to since post-raise. So it'll be cool to kind of vocally give an update on what we're doing and where we're at.
Yeah, which I want to hear that. But I'd like to start with your background, though. You said you've been in tech since you were 17. Where did you grow up? When you said you were 7 years old with a golf club in your hand, where was that? Where did your life begin on the course?
Yeah, so North Georgia, Woodstock, Alpharetta, Georgia is where I grew up most of my life, actually pretty much all my life. And so, yeah, I played USGA in Georgia, actually played against my stepbrother a lot, who is now on the PGA Tour. So his name is Anders Albertson. Actually just got to caddy for him at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, which was super cool. And that was my first time, like, inside the ropes with him and watching his swing. It was whole different world, right? Like, he's my stepbrother, but he is also a really freaking good golfer. And I played against him. He kicked my butt a lot, which is awesome. I worked and lived in Georgia until I was my wife and I moved down here about 7, coming up on 8 years now, to Orlando, Florida. So now I'm in Orlando. I'm up in Claremont, so we're about on 5 acres here in Claremont, which is awesome. A little bit about 35 minutes north of Disney, and I have golf every 5 miles away from me, which is incredible now. So member over at the Four Seasons Country Club. So if you're ever down and want to play some golf, it's a really cool, very blessed to be where we are today and be able to, like, now engulf my life literally in golf, which is super cool.
So is tech something you always wanted to work in, or did this just kind of accidentally become a thing?
So I'm not sure if I've ever talked about this. Well, maybe. I'm a high school dropout, so I dropped out at 17 years old to go work for Apple, and I struggle with severe dyslexia. So, like, I mean, if you gave me a book to read, it would be probably just very, very, very difficult for me to read. I started learning how to do UI UX and just kind of like design and some front end development. And I felt like it was just easier for me to do that than actually like read. And so I just knew that technology was going to play a big part of like my life and what I wanted to do and where I'm at. And then my older brother, who is now my head of design at Mailchimp, or at ParFour, he was the one of the lead designers at Mailchimp for 8 years.
Okay.
So took him from Mailchimp. I said, "Come work with me and build something cool." And he's really like the person who has taught me my entire tech, my background, kind of helped me fall in love with it. There was an application. I remember the day we were sitting on my mom's couch and he was showing me an application called Sketch. And he was showing me how I can basically build mobile screens and mobile designs. And this was like literally, gosh, right as I was about to drop out of high school. And I was like, I love this. I love building things. I love tinkering things. I love problem solving. And so that's kind of where it led me to be like, I love technology and get to build it every day. So
and I know my parents are going to listen to this episode because I think they're my biggest fans other than my wife. What do what do UI and UX stand for?
yeah, user experience and user interface. So user experience is something that me as a user, I'm going to go through, right? So I'm going to click button. Button is going to take me to X, and then X is going to do Y. So every app you use, every piece of technology that you use, whether it's on web or mobile, somebody is thinking about that experience. Now, there's some websites that don't care about experience and they don't care about user interface, and they just literally it's just a program, right? And a lot of today's technology is focused around user experience, user interface, right? They hire what is called user interaction designers, who literally their sole purpose of their job is to talk to users and figure out what is going to make their lives easier for you to give them money, right? As a product. And then you have user interface designers, which are literally solely focused on building something beautiful, right? And so, and then now you have UX engineers, who are now a combination of UX, user experience, and then also know how to develop, right? So now you're kind of getting two birds, one stone. Those are very expensive people. They're very talented of being able to use the left brain and the right brain simultaneously. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a, and with AI, it's a whole different world now, right? Like, I mean, it is insane what you can build at that level, and even what you can think about, right? I can literally ask Claude or ChatGPT to say, act as a senior UX designer and help me do this flow. And it'll literally tell me the things that I need to do or how to do it. So it's like we're entering a whole new world of tech. We're utilizing it, not dependent on it, right? And there's a big difference between that.
Sure.
But I think that, as UX designers and UI designers, it's going to truly change the way that we design and think because of AI. So I'm very excited to see like where tech is going to go in the next like 2 to 3 years, because it's scary
wild.
and it's cool.
Yeah. It's very scary. It's very cool. I mean, we just recently moved and we pretty much designed our entire house with AI, with Claude,
That's
with
so
ChatGPT. I mean, it's not saved thousands of dollars doing that
Yep.
too.
Yep.
So, and I want to get to your pivot, and congratulations on the funding. But
Thank you.
I'm curious, with every product, or with every, and I guess an app is a product, but everybody has an aha moment. What was the aha moment for you when this became something in your mind that you wanted to create, the ParFour app?
Yeah. So I'll kind of start from the beginning, right? So in the beginning, the idea of ParFour came from being able to go and live stream on a course, right? So we have Instagram Live, we have YouTube Live, we have Twitch, and all of those things are for specific things. Twitch is for video games. Instagram Live is more of just like communicating, comedy, talking. And now you have TikTok Live, which is, now honestly in like the selling side of things, where you can buy stuff off the TikTok shop and all that. So we were like, well, where's live streaming for golf? Where's live streaming for sports? You have it for Game Changers, which is the baseball version of live stream, where it has a camera behind home plate. Parents can watch when they're out of town. But where is this for golf? Now, it's super hard, and there's a reason why this hasn't been done, because it's very expensive to do that, right? You're using servers that require a lot of movement when it comes to video compression, phones, being able to create an app that actually takes that video, brings it to a live stream, chatting, user experience, user interface, engineers. It's massive, right? So we were doing it for some really cool tours, and we figured out a way to do it to where we could basically do about 1/10 of the cost of what a normal actual production costs and still look the exact same.
Wow.
We did some stuff with the PGA Tour. I can't say like what in the PGA Tour, but we did some stuff with the PGA Tour, which is super cool. And then we ended up doing stuff for the Annika Tour, so the women's pathway to the LPGA Tour. And there's a gentleman named Gary, if he ever listens to this, and Gary, one day, literally, we were out there streaming the championship for him, and during that stream, and I'm not on the camera, I have 2 camera guys, he looks over to me and he goes, with your talents, you guys could probably recreate what Golf Genius has done better. And it was that was like the aha moment. And I've used Golf Genius. I've never thought about like, that's a beast, right? Like you're tackling David and Goliath at this point. And so I thought, I was like, okay, like, we're making a little bit of money. We're not making what we thought we would make with the live streaming aspect. It's very travel heavy. I was becoming more of a media production company rather than a tech company, right? And so when Gary said that to me, we had very, very little in the bank left. We were like, we got to do something. Like this is the time to do it. And fast forward today, we've raised $1 million. We have onboarded 74 clubs. We've generated $50,000 in revenue in our first month. And it's awesome. It's super cool. We're able to build extremely fast. For instance, 2 days ago, one of our users said, hey, it'd be awesome to have a wait list where once the event is at full capacity, I can have a wait list. And if someone drops, it automatically fills them in and sends them an invoice. We built it in 3 days, testing from beginning to end.
So if a member guest is full at a club and they've got a wait list, as soon as someone drops out, it automatically pops someone else in, invoices them.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
So there's pieces of the technology that we're hearing from outdated products and platforms that are literally saying, we've asked this stuff for years, right? The problem with those outdated applications, right, is they're built on literally 20 to 25 years of architecture. So when you go and you say, hey, I want this, that one little thing takes months, right? Because what happens is they try to integrate it, and there's a thing called regression. So if you change one thing, it can affect 85 different files, right? So there is not a lot of updating happening. They're moving at very slow speed, but it's working. What they have works. It's there. It's functional. And then now, when you're looking at new today companies that are coming out, you either have 2 problems. Number one, it's AI slop, right? Like they're literally just having AI build it, which is fine, but it's not from a long-term, it's not scalable, right? The infrastructure is not there to actually build on it. Number 2, people are building, but it still looks like it was built in the 90s, right? Like there's just no attention to, again, user experience and user interface. And I always say, like, if I walk into a store and you see something beautifully designed and then something really ugly, you're going to buy the beautifully designed product first before you even look at the ugly product, right? So like your landing page, your branding, your aesthetic, it all needs to have a purpose and a reason. And so, that's what we tried to focus on, was how could we become the next adaptive idea and design for golf, right? Golf technology. And we're really putting our focus heavy on clubs and events and tours, right? So at a club level, you have everything. You have the members, you have the actual club itself, the location, the things that it offers, the events, the whole 9 yards. Then with inside of that, you have the members. So you're having to use about 3 to 5 different products right now to do everything that ParFour does. And that's what we're trying to do, is chip slowly away to be like, hey, you don't need PayPal anymore. If you go on a ParFour event page, you can actually buy a sponsorship for an event right there, upload your logo, and it automatically applies it to the event page, the scorecards, the cart cards, and you as the event manager have to not do a single thing. It does everything for you, right? So we want to create better software. We want to create clubs more revenue, events more revenue, and to be able to bring in things that they never had in one platform where it doesn't feel like they're having to go and spend thousands of dollars over multiple platforms or forget which platform does what. Our pricing is super simple, $4,000 a year, no contract, no setup fee, and that's it.
Wow. And then cost per event, or what is it? Just $4,000 for the year, and I mean, obviously, you don't get it
So,
just
yeah.
open-ended access, right? It's how does that function?
Yeah, so we have 3 options. Well, technically 4. You can create a club for free, right? So anyone can go in there, create a club. That's free. To use an event, right? If you were, let's say you were a charity event and you're like, hey, I have one event a year. I don't need $4,000 worth of events. Like I'm just doing one. For one event, it's $299, right? But we handle everything. We handle your event page, your registration, your live scoring, your sponsorships, every fee we connect to Stripe. So essentially it is built all in right there through Stripe, which is awesome. And yeah, so we handle literally everything from before the event to final putt, live leaderboards, stats to statistics, what happens after the event, the whole 9 yards. So that is free, $299, or you could do $499 a month, or annually $4,000 a year, right? Which saves about like 20-ish%. So that's kind of like, we have a lot of users who do the monthly event because for them, hey, I'm going to run 3 or 4 events, cancel for a month. I'm going to come back and do it it's like, for me, that's awesome. I love that because by the time you come back, we'll have 4 or 5 more features that you didn't have when you first
Right.
started.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's the new name of the game. And then the cool part is we actually launched our app. We have not made like any big hoot and howl about it. But we're doing a big press release on April 17th. So we're going to give the Masters a little bit time to breathe with all the Masters news. And we're going to do a big press announcement where we've basically recreated 18 birdies and the Grant and 19 hole. And we've rebuilt the app completely from ground up, and it's completely free. So there is no subscription. There is no anything. We want users to literally use the ParFour app. There's multiple game modes. So you can play stroke play, scramble, match play, Stableford. We're coming out with skins and Ryder Cup, and the app is going to be 100% completely free because we want people to come in and be like, oh my gosh, head pro, we need to use this as our next member guest. We need to use this as our next member. So we're using that opportunity to basically give anybody and everybody access to it and then go into the clubs and make their club experience better than it is today.
That is fascinating. So, and you started the app for a different reason and have pivoted, like you mentioned. What was that a tough pill to swallow? Like you talked about the conversation you had. So tell me about the conversations internally about completely changing course with what you all were doing as an organization. And one of my questions was the size of your team, how many people you have at ParFour. I mean, that turning a ship a completely different direction is a big move. How was that received? What was that process like?
Man, so I mean, with any startup, the hardest part, like when I remember I always heard like the hardest part of being a CEO is just navigating, right? Like knowing you have to make the call as to what is going to be best for you, best for the team, best for the product, best for the company. And I felt that full hand, right? Like I'm responsible for people's salaries. The good part is half the people, about 75% of the people on my team are some of my really close friends, if not family, right? So that pill was a little bit easier to swallow, to be like, if we run out of money, I'm sorry,
Right.
like let's maybe go find something else. But it was very hard. There was a lot of sleepless nights. There's a lot of hard conversations with my wife, which is like, do I continue this? Like I put so much time and effort into the brand, the voice, the product, the tech, our team members have done the same. And so, yeah, it was a gamble. It was literally a flip the coin. Like, is this going to work or is this not going to work? And I remember my first call with Social Leverage. It was crazy. The first call I had, it was all about us raising money based off of the live streaming aspect. 2 months later, I go back to them and I said, "Hey, we pivoted and this is what we're building." And they were like, "Oh my gosh, this is the Strava and Shopify for golf." And that's what they invested in. They didn't invest in the streaming aspect. They literally like, "You're going to drop the streaming stuff, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, we'll still do it for some, some Anika tour and some other tours and people we're talking to that want to do cool events that are willing to pay the price tag, but
Right.
that's not going to be our core product anymore." And they loved it. I mean, it's been so cool, and I think we found a really good uh VC that the money is the 50% of it. The connections and the opportunities that they've given us just from this venture capitalist alone is worth, if not more than what they gave us, right? And so if anyone's out there listening about raising capital, make sure it's the right VC, because it matters
Yeah.
a lot, right? Like, money can only get you so far, but your connections and like the conversations that they've given me, I don't think I could have gotten from any other VC. And we got a couple other VCs with term sheets, but not as good as this term sheet, and also just as good as what they wanted to do, which was help us grow the business, right? So, yeah, very, very hard pill to swallow, to answer your question, and it was a massive risk, literally flipping a coin.
And how much of your framework and everything within the app, and was that just scrapping everything and starting over, but you had the brand
Yep.
loyalty and the brand equity? So that was the
Yep.
plan?
Yep.
Oh,
Exactly. So that sucked, right? Like, we literally, I remember the day that we sat there and we said, "All right, let's delete the app," and we started literally from scratch. And it sucked. It sucked. It was like, all right, there's no going back. Like, we just like,
how many users did
and
you
to
have on the
answer your,
app that you deleted?
so we still have all that user database. So that's the good part. They can still access the app, but we had roughly around 10,000 users
Wow.
using,
Okay.
that had an account in ParFour, which
Yeah.
was super cool. But today, if anyone was to go into the app, we actually switched it to where there is no passwords in ParFour. It's an email. You get a 6-digit code. You enter that in, right? So that's really for our older generation that will be using the app. Another password is not needed right now in today's world, so made it super easy from that standpoint. But we have 7 team members total, and 3 of which are engineers, 2 of which are product and design, and then me, and then some sales guys and marketing guys who kind of are part-time, who help out.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a very, very, like, I do all the graphics, I do all the branding, I do all the demos. I do about 10 to 15 demos a day right now. We're just cold reaching out to clubs and being like, "Hey, you got Golf Genius? You got Blue Golf? Like, we can help you not want to pull your hair out at night." So
Yeah.
that's kind of the easy in, and then from there, they once they see the product, they're just like, "Oh my gosh, this feels like an app that was built in 2026." So
Which, it's funny you said that, because in my 9 to 5, I'm currently dealing with a CRM that's about 20 years old, and it's been
Yep.
just band-aided along the way, which,
Yep.
to your earlier point, has created a mountain of problems that we're dealing with, because once you pull this lever, the domino effect is terrible. And
Yep.
it's yeah, the challenges it's created for us have been horrendous.
Yeah.
So what is it that is the capabilities and the functionality that you all provide that's more advantageous than what, and I know Golf Genius is more prehistoric. What
Yeah.
is it that ParFour is doing differently to set yourself apart?
Yeah. So number one, I'll kind of walk you through like the entire UX, right? So this is a great example of I'm a club, right? And that's the cool thing. This is not built for just country clubs or just munis, right? Like, this is for the random golf club. This is for the Tuesday morning boys who go out. This is for the Thursday night golf sim league, right? Like, this is literally built for every single type of golf club that doesn't even have to have a building. And so that's the hard part that Golf Genius or any other product does, right? they're focused on going after the country clubs. They're going after the public courses, and there's really nobody out there that's doing this for the everyday course. So for instance, today we signed on a club literally called the Social Tour out of Ontario, and they do just like high stakes, high level golf. But they can't use Golf Genius because it's so expensive, but also because it doesn't have all the functionality, and their brand is super sweet, super cool looking, and they're like, Golf Genius just bogs that down, right? And so, they looked at other products on the market, but most of these products is what we call is a fractional feature of what we offer. So
Okay.
they do like, there's, one company that just does just events, right? Or one company that does tour levels, leagues, and seasons. But there's no one who does clubs, events, members, tours, and tournaments. So that's where we kind of come in play, which is focusing on bringing a club in, getting all of their members uploaded to ParFour. Then you can create events, and not just golf events. Let's say that you have a social gala, or like for me, for instance, I'm actually throwing I'm going to the Masters Friday and Saturday, and then I'm flying home and we're throwing a Masters party on Sunday. I literally did all of my registration through an event I made in ParFour where all my friends could register, add +1s, and now I can see how much food I need to order, what I need to do. It gives them what to bring. We have bounce houses, a pool, but I basically created an invite or Inbright for everything golf related.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not just on the course, which is super cool. Then I'm able to go in and I'm able to do differentiating factors like, let's say I don't know the course or know where I'm playing or how much it costs, but I know this is the vision of my tournament. We have options where you can say, this is TBD. Location is TBD, price is TBD, but I can join a wait list. Once that wait list lets me know, it sends out an email automatically to all the members. A date has been chosen, a price has been chosen. We have built-in 43,000 golf courses. So as I'm actually building my event, I type in my golf course, you select it, and then boom, a drop-down comes down and tells you what tees you're playing. We just got kind of the okay to start using USGA. I don't know if I wasn't allowed to say that or not, but we'll find out. So we have integration within USGA now, so you can go into the ParFour app, link your USGA account. Our next step is to get all the scoring, right? So all the your past 10 scores will be brought into ParFour, and then all of your stats will be based off of that as well. So now we have full handicap operations for any game type. Again, free. And going all the way down to during an event, you have a full leaderboard. And within the app, this is the cool part that no other app does. As you're playing, a live GPS will actually show your icon moving across the golf course with the yardage to the pin, and it'll show your viewer what club you're taking, the weather, and everything about the location of where you're at, how many hazards there are on that hole. So we basically created ShotLink, what the PGA Tour has, but for the everyday tournament and the everyday player, and all
That's
through your
really
app.
cool. So you've got my wheels really turning because I'm going with 16 guys, or there's 15 guys going with me. I'm the 16th. We're going to Landman in Nebraska in July.
Oh, nice.
And I'm thinking through because there's all this back and forth about what kind of games we're going to do and how we're going to keep up with it. And I might have found a solution. and because it sounds like ParFour can solve all of that, because if anybody wants to have side games, side bets, whatever, they can do that while we still have a large game between two teams that gets managed within the app. Am I hearing you correctly?
Exactly.
That functionality exists?
Yep. And you can do scrambles. You can do Stableford. We have point systems all the way down. Your handicaps will show everybody who gets a pop on which hole. Like everything is broken down to where all you have to do is literally push your score, and that's it, and it does the rest, right? So and the cool part is we're working on where you can actually create side games in your big tournament, right? So if you're playing a stroke play, we're gonna have the option to be basically create a skins game in that stroke play.
That's
right.
Cool.
So again, just kind of doing things that are, in a way, we're focusing on two different types of users. We're focusing on the B2B, which is essentially the clubhouse, the event manager, the people who are putting on events and tours, and then the B2C, which is leading us to the B2B, right? And I think that, like you said, this is built for physically any type of size. 2-man, 4, 6, 10, 16, 30, 100, 500. We just partnered with Gold Links, the really, really awesome Black community in golf that has like J.R. Smith and Justin Jefferson and like all these guys, Billy J, Swag Vance. We're actually hosting his tournament on ParFour, and it's just insane the level of detail that we can get into with still making it look freaking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Right. And that's really what we're focusing on is, this is kind of cliche, but we are truly trying to become the Apple of golf, right? When someone looks at ParFour, when they look at our brand, look at our logo, they're like, they know they're going to get the best product. They know it's going to function well. And yeah, it may be a little bit on the expensive side, not compared to the other competitors, but just as a normal golf outing, but you're going to get what you pay for, which is an incredible experience. Our goal is to go after the invited club, the Troons, the Cabots, that every time a big group goes out, they're using ParFour, a part of that party, because now it feels like they're actually playing in their own little PGA tour right there at that event on that location.
So when does a user like myself, like for my trip to Landman, when do I start paying? Is it
so you would pay for just the one event. That's it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So it'd be $299, and then what you do is you ask all 16 guys to chip in $15 and it's covered, right? But
Yeah.
now you have a historical data of your entire round, and you can do multiple rounds in that event. So let's say that you do day 1, you're going to play 18 holes at this location. You create a second round under that same event. It creates your scorecard for you for every single event. So you're not having to create 5 events. You're creating one event with multiple rounds inside.
Okay,
of it.
because I was about to ask that question because we're playing 4 rounds. So my event, I would have one event with 4 rounds under it, and then I can go in each of those rounds and make them either scrambles or stroke play, whatever.
Stableford.
Okay.
Yep. So you're able to now create all of that, and it's all separate different leaderboards. And then you can say, hey, are we playing gross and net? Are we just playing stroke play straight up? So you get to choose as you're going through this. Like, let's say, for instance, you just happen to be like, hey, I'm going to try to get a sponsor for this, right? And publicly get it. You can literally create a sponsorship right there in that event. That sponsorship can buy it, and now it's on all of your scorecards. Now it's on all of your cart cards, and we do all the printouts right in ParFour, where it automatically generates everything with cut lines. Your sponsor logo shows up on it. A QR code shows up on it for you to download the app. You click it. There's no GGID. There's no searching for your event. The email that you registered for, literally type that into ParFour, even if it's your first time using the app or 100th time. You log in, and that scorecard is literally waiting for you right at the top. So our ecosystem allows for you now, your profile, to go to another event, and that profile follows you along. Okay. So now your stats will follow you to any ParFour event that you do inside the platform. So it's not like other products where you use a GGID once and you're like, well, I don't know what happened to my score. It's in the ether now, right? Like the only way you'll be able to see it is if you go back to, if it's tied to a USGA account, right? With this, literally everything follows you. Inside of your member profile, your club can actually go in and leave private comments. So like, this guy's slow, we need to put him with the sandbaggers or what. So there's a full ecosystem for the club to literally manage their members in real time. Then there's a thing called My Bag. So in the app, you can set up every single detail about your bag, your glove, the ball that you use, the bag that you use, all your clubs. So when you're playing, it literally is telling the user in real time that's watching you what club you're using based off the distance that you put in. And it's using that data every single time you play on every single course.
And so, which that's fascinating. Also, on the group game, like the 16 guys, is there a link then that everybody gets sent where they're able to join that event? How does that
That
function?
event. So what would happen is you would create an event, right? You now have a public page. They would all register. You would make this an
Okay.
unlisted event, right?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
you don't want it out in the ether. Like
Right.
you want people to literally, your 16 guys to register. Once they're registered, you actually can go into that event and create tee times for specific like rounds. Be like, hey,
Okay.
we're gonna group these 4 guys together and these 4 guys, and then the next round, these 4 guys are gonna be grouped together. These 4 guys are gonna be grouped together. So you literally can customize it like you're the head pro at the clubhouse, but for just your 16 guys. Then, as they're entering in all their emails to register for that, once they sign into the app and you start that event, literally that scorecard shows up automatically in their app. So there's no searching for it, there's no
Got it.
entering a
Okay.
code. Literally, once you guys are starting your tee times, boom, everyone gets in the app a push notification saying your round is started. You hit it, and then it comes up and starts scoring, and that's it.
And then once you finish a hole, you just go in and put your score in.
Yep, and then you hit next. And then on the web page, this is the cool part. The web page is dynamic. So the web page they signed up on, literally the sign up goes away and it becomes a full leaderboard for
Oh,
people
that's
to
cool.
literally follow along in real
That's really
time.
cool.
Then inside the app, we have a optional thing that are called stats. So you can enter in your FIR, GIR, how many putts, how many sand traps. Below that leaderboard is all the data that's coming in real time from the app. So you could say, oh, Josh made a 3-putt here, but he made a par. Oh, Kevin made a 2-putt and he made an eagle, right? Like, so it literally lists out all the stats like you're literally watching
Yeah.
a tour in real
Right.
time, and
Right.
it tells you, and the updates are literally 4 to 8 seconds. As soon as you enter the score, it updates automatically right in the web browser too.
That's awesome. Well, yeah. So I'm definitely gonna have to get with you on for our
Heck yeah,
trip.
I'll give you a code. You can use it for free and test it out and give me some feedback.
Yeah, that would be great. So what challenges have you guys run into with calling on clubs and just in the trip, like me on a golf trip? What has been the biggest hurdle that y'all have encountered that kind of surprised you?
New software, right? Like no one wants to sit there and relearn new software.
Yeah.
And we kind of we've won them over recently by changing the way that we talk about it. And it's really saying, hey, I can actually onboard you in 30 minutes. A normal competitor onboarding takes anywhere between 4 to 6 hours, multiple days, right? Because it's just so much, it's so convoluted, like it's massive. But we literally can onboard you in 30 minutes and have your first event up in 9 minutes. So from beginning to end, you can set up a full event in 9 minutes. And so we made it to where, like, it's funny enough, my slogan or my saying is like, we literally asked my mom to do it, and she was able to do it all the way through. And my mom is the person that calls me weekly asking for a password, right? And so we made it to where any type of level of person would be able to create an event and do it. And so that's what we've really been focusing on, is making it very quick, very easy, very beautiful, and truly focusing on that experience to make it be like, yeah, I'm going to use this for everything that we do, right? And again, not just golf events, but everything that club may offer. And we're building even more. Like next on our roadmap, the biggest thing that I'm absolutely so excited about, we're offering memberships within inside of a club. So a club can now sell memberships at annual or yearly with dues and the whole 9 yards within inside of ParFour. So you can have membership packages. In that membership package, let's say you create an event and say, hey, I only want these members to get access for 24 hours, and then it opens up to the public. So these members will get first access to my club, and you pay X amount a month or X amount a year, and then here's the initiation. So all these clubs that exist without an actual building will now be able to create and build memberships right in ParFour. So now you have club management, member management, event management, sponsor management, league management, and everything all under one roof.
That's very good. And that's becoming a more popular thing, right? Like you're seeing that pop up all over the place where it's a golf club, and I'm making air quotes, but they don't have brick and mortar. They don't have a home course. but
We've
there
had
is
5 of them sign up in the last 48 hours.
really.
Yeah. Yep. And you have to think about it. Random Golf Club, Golf Gaming Club, um, the Cactus Club, which they signed up. Terrence signed up on ParFour for that. Today we just announced the Social Club. We have here in Orlando, the Panther Pines Club, and it's literally all these clubs have no brick or building. They go and meet at different golf courses. They play, and that is their membership. Right, which is a freaking cool experience because now you get to go to multiple courses,
Yeah.
and usually it's the people inside the club that's offering up their clubs for those players to come in. So yeah, I think in my opinion, where golf is going, you're going to see more clubs without buildings than buildings.
Yeah, that's crazy, but it's a really cool concept. I mean, I'm not a part of one, but I'm familiar with Gimme Golf in St. Louis, and they're just exploding, and they've got access to clubs there in St. Louis. They have simulators, obviously, so they can play indoors, but their membership's huge. They've got they got national members.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. I never even thought about that as an opportunity for revenue, but it certainly makes complete sense. What is next for ParFour? So it sounds like you've found the niche and where you guys are trying to kick open that door in terms of clubs, both that have their own golf courses and clubs that don't. But what if you could wave a magic wand in the next 5 years? What does ParFour look like?
Yeah. So big thing number one is building trust, right? Like we're this new product, older new product that has pivoted to what we are. And I truly think that gaining trust of people to be like, hey, I will spend money on your product, right? That's the hardest thing to get anybody to do is saying, man, I'm gonna drop $300 for one event. But what people don't realize is one sponsor can cover that, 10 guys can cover that, right? Like when you break it down, it is so inexpensive to actually do an event or host an event or tournament or club inside of ParFour. And we've pitched it this way, which is we want to create more revenue streams for clubs that they did not know that existed, right? So it is starting to become a business for some of these people to create clubs, host events, create tournaments, and they're literally now be able to create a business off of it, right? I mean, you do the math simply. If I got, we know a club, Soba Club. They are, I'm actually going with Corey to Ireland, which is super cool in September. And we signed up Soba. If you think about it, if they launched a membership for their 10,000 members at $75 a year, the math's simple on that, right? Like you're creating a revenue stream that never existed, but now you get to offer your members something that they never got to have, which is an experience almost feeling like they are part of a country club, but actually a tighter community, right? So that's, I think, where we want to focus is creating and generating revenue, but making sure that we're building clubs and events really freaking well for our users.
So are there capabilities within the app to like a Discord channel where you can communicate with other members or no?
Not right now. So we're working on a communication piece where you'll be able, right now you can email members inside of ParFour and it's its own system. We're working on text messages, in-app notifications. So you can basically be like, hey, I want to send out a push notification to your 16 guys and say, hey guys, make sure you're up and ready. Tomorrow's tee time, 6 a.m., right? And it sends out a push notification to all their phones or text or whatever. So we're working on that right now. And then we want to build, some integration into something like MailChimp where you can export it, create a newsletter, and then send it off inside of MailChimp. So communication, memberships, multi-leaderboards is something that we're working on too, where you can have like a flight A leaderboard, a flight B, a women's leaderboard, a senior leaderboard. So that takes a lot of effort because it's a lot of data flowing into one place. And then we're actually working on a TV app right now for Fire Stick, Apple TV, where it's basically a customized leaderboard for your event with all your sponsors and logos.
That's cool.
So and I think we're hearing things. A ton of like schools have been reaching out to us, which is the coaches want to create a roster or a way to manage his
Oh, their
league
team.
and team
Yeah.
inside of ParFour, where he can create practice rounds or championship rounds. So we'll probably start going and branching out to do functionality and build functionality that are meant for other type of golf clubs, schools, colleges, simulators, right? Like building this software where we actually have one here. It's called 1 Degree. I'm meeting with them tomorrow morning. And he's like, I hate the software I use. What you have is awesome. Can you create a version where instead of owning the course, it literally is just he'll build stands for every single sim that he has, and you put your phone there and it's a scorecard, right? And your phone becomes a scorecard without the map of the course that you're playing,
Yeah.
right? So now and he has this huge giant TGL type screen that he's like, I want to put the leaderboard on there. So when they update their score, all the sims can turn around and look at the leaderboard in real time.
That's cool.
So I think there's a lot of different pieces that we're going to go after. The one thing that we don't want to do is try to put all of every egg that we have in one basket, right? I think really, really focusing on the idea to create a software really well is to build what you're building really well, then move on to the next roadmap piece,
Yeah.
right? Listening to our users. I mean, about 40 or 50 of my users I text daily, and I'm like, and it's a white glove experience that probably will hopefully go away, in the long term as we grow. But it's like right now I'm so excited to be like, hey, like today I sent out 30 messages. Hey, we just launched a new feature inside the club where you can now upload pictures into your club. So now your club has aesthetic viewing of what your club is like from a visual standpoint. And the other day we just added social media tags where you can go in and create your social media in your club. So our goal, hopefully in the next 3 months, is some of these clubs don't even have websites. Their website is their club page on ParFour because it has everything there, right? So again, creating that Shopify experience where then we'll move into, hey, you can sell your products on ParFour. You can create your tee times on ParFour, right? So that's long term, but we got to start and build something beautiful before we get to those cool and fun pieces.
And like you said, gain the trust. As soon as you have, gaining the trust with anything is a huge, huge factor for anything that's going to be successful. And once you have that trust, then you can start adding those other layers, and people have already know how your app works. They enjoy using the app, so they don't have any issue with a new feature because we're all creatures of habit, right? And anything, as soon as something changes, we freak out. Like it doesn't matter. And but you're right. The trust part's huge. I love what you're doing. It's fascinating. I love how you just 17 dropped out of high school and had this aha moment, and then had a complete change in direction for the company. That is a wild, wild journey you've been on, Ethan.
It's there's sometimes I like literally, like, not even being cliche or cheesy, I lay in bed and I'm like, what the hell?
What are we doing?
I'm like, what have I done? Like, this is like, there is no going back, like it is full steam ahead. And if you can't tell, like, my passion for this is fiery. Like, I love what I get to do. I'm up. I mean, not just me, my team, my CTO, Josh, literally is up most nights till 1 or 2 a.m. He lives in Atlanta. My older brother lives in Atlanta. We're all pretty much East Coast.
Okay.
And we're just like, it was funny. I was talking to my brother today. I was like, okay, we need to look for, start maybe hiring for this and this. And he's like, you do realize, like, we're going to be the only people that stay up till 1 or 2 a.m. Like, your expectation for other people to do that is needs to come down. And I'm like, well, if they don't have the grit, I don't want them on my team. Like, this is, I think if we work really hard to build something really cool, the reward is going to be way more worth every single night that I stay up till 1 or 2 a.m. And I don't have to, but I'm excited about what I'm building. I'm excited about bringing tech in a way that is not fractional and not old, and truly changing the way that, like, I get to play golf. Like, my wife has recently become obsessed with golf, which I freaking love. And we'll go out and use my app to score while we play golf. And I'm like, this is wild, like, there's so many combinations here. But it's a massive blessing, and it is super, super cool to see how far we've come, the struggles. Like, yeah, the struggles have been insane. But at the end of the day, like when we hit $50,000 this month in revenue, I looked at that number and I was like, there's no way I would have seen this a year ago. And people trusting us with what they want and need and building. Every customer we talk to, our goal is saying, hey, if you have feedback and if there's something that we can build, let us know. We will add it to the roadmap. We're not going to give you a defined time of when that will be done, but it won't take months and it won't take weeks. Like our goal is to truly put what customers want, because what Mitchell wants is probably what 100 other Mitchells want, right? And so if we can kind of articulate that, we're going to become and build a successful product just listening to our users, right? Like Rollap said the other day, the best way to build a incredible profitable tour is by listening to 9 out of 10 of the people who watch the game of golf, right?
Listen to the
So
fans.
if we do that, we can build something very successful that actually people want to use and will pay for.
Yeah. That's fantastic. That is awesome. Well, yeah, I definitely want to. I need to use your app for my trip, because
I'll send you a code.
there's
It's all
gonna be a
yours.
lot going on for that. And thank you for the time, but I got a couple little quick questions and then we'll get you out of here.
Yeah.
What is your favorite club in the bag right now?
Okay. My Mizuno 60 degree is probably my favorite club. I just ordered a mini driver, so I'll let you know if that's my favorite club in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
But yeah, my 60 degree, like I just love chipping. Chipping's one of the most like peaceful things to me, which is very weird for someone to say that, but it's just, yeah, I love it. I love my 60 degree.
Yeah, well, so you've clearly listened to some episodes for you to make the mini driver reference. I mean, yeah, I need to get one in the bag. What is your favorite course in Florida?
Gosh, okay. Favorite course in Florida would have to, I mean, I'm biased. Like Four Seasons is just gorgeous. It's in Disney World. It's on a property that's Four Seasons, but it's also in a neighborhood called Golden Oak. So it's the only place in Disney World that you can actually live inside of the gates of Disney World. Houses start anywhere between $4.5 to $30 million, right? So it is like, it's nuts, but we don't have tea times. We have 200 members.
Oh,
and
wow.
I literally me and my wife could go out at 3:00 and not one single soul is on the course.
God, that sounds
And it's
amazing.
the most peaceful thing in the world, where her and I can literally just like practice chipping, practice doing this. So I would say for the factor and the benefits of the course, but also the beauty of the Four Seasons, they take so good care of it. I would have to say Four Seasons all day long. Tranquilo is what it's called.
Okay.
It's where they used to host the LPGA tournaments down here in Florida.
Yeah. I remember that now. If you could come up with a dream foursome, dead or alive, who would be in that dream foursome with you?
I have it. Tommy Fleetwood, Bryson DeChambeau, Anders Albertson, and me.
That would be fun. Is Anders a talker? Is he talk
He is
trash?
not. He is quiet as a mouse. Yeah, he is very quiet, and I would love someone like Bryson to play with someone like Anders.
Right. Yeah. And that's why I asked, because Bryson, we all know how Bryson is, and I feel like Tommy would be the level head of the pros there, just like chilling, watching, just kind of taking it all in. But I share in the love for Tommy Fleetwood. I want him to get his first major.
Same. I'm hoping so bad it happens this year. Not so much the Masters. I think I would love to see Bryson pull it off this year. He's I'm a big Bryson fan. I just love him. I love, just how he thinks about the game. He invests in a ton of companies in tech to literally enhance the game. So he is just he's like the scientist, the mad scientist of golf, of what I feel like. And he just is like always dabbling in like what can make him better, what tech can make him better. And I love that. I love people who are like trying to progress what they do for a living,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and lastly, do you hit driver off the deck?
No. Terrible, but that mini driver, when I was hitting it off the deck at Golf Galaxy, I was striping.
I love that. Love that. Ethan, thank you so much for the time. Really enjoyed our conversation. I look forward to using your app and look forward to keeping up with all of the success that ParFour has.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for talking. I love being able to talk golf, and with cool people who just truly also want to grow the game in so many different aspects. So thank you for what you do and your awesome podcast.
Yeah, thank you for the kind words. Well, for Ethan Andrews, I'm Josh Decker, and this has been another episode of Off the Deck.